Not crying out, he cleaned the wound. The pain, the stench of greasy sheepskin, its revolting lanolin taste, the man spat and then retched. The convulsive movement made the pain worse. He fought for control. He used the mental tools at his disposal. Imagine the pain as a red-hot ember, his arm as a fennel stalk. Force the ember down inside the stalk. Let it glow there in the dark, smoulder, do its worst. You can carry it for miles, the surface of the fennel barely warm to the touch. The pain somewhat mastered. The man sniffed the wound. Nothing, just blood and wine, the homely waft of sacrifice. Relief ran through him. They had not used the most potent of local poisons, not the one whose mere scent could injure or blind. If they had employed another, it probably mattered little. Every morning, like all his family, he had climbed the ladder to the top room of the tower. There his father had unlocked the big bound chest, had measured out the portions. Every morning, the 7 of them, father, mother, the 4 boys and their sister, had drunk down a little draught of every poison, all except one that was known in the region. It took a time. There were many poisons known in Suania. Endless, innocent mornings vitiated by nausea and pain, but all worth it on a dreadful afternoon such as this one. There was an inch or so of splintered shaft protruding. It was inscribed with strange markings. The arrowhead was barbed. It could not be pulled out. He could cut it out, but he would scream and bring the hunters down on him. He sat and thought. He unbuckled his bow case and quiver. They were useless to a one-armed man. He took 2 straps from them. One he tied tight above the wound. The flow of blood slowed almost instantly. The other he fashioned into a sling. He regarded the bow case for a time. He considered his weapons. On his belt, a sword and dagger. Another 2 daggers, one hidden in a boot, the other in the lining of his coat. He pulled a bowstring from the case, and gripping one end in his teeth, made it into a lariat. Somewhere in the distance, a hound gave voice, and a man called. The main body of the hunt, or the assassins? There was no way to tell. It was time to move, time to decide what to do. Leaving the bow case and quiver, the torn scraps of clothing, the bloodied ground, the man moved off through the trees, away from the direction in which he had come. He tracked up the slope until he came to a small glade. Through the break in the foliage, he could see the sky, a hard, distant blue. Darkness would fall within 2 hours. He looked north to the mountains. The Caucasus lived up to their Scythian name. In the cold sunshine their flanks were still gleaming white with snow, but the mountains were smoking. Wisps of vapour curled up towards the peaks, coalesced into a dark cloud at the very summit. The first snows would fall here in the upland valleys in an hour or so. Darkness would come early. Not long to stay alive. The man felt sick again, sick and weak. He thought for a moment, then, taking a slightly different angle, stepped back into the trees the way he had come. He cast about for a place to lie up. A great fallen beech, its dying branches fanned upwards, abutted a standing evergreen. He settled himself into the space between the screen of dying deciduous leaves and the grey, lichened trunk of the pine. The man was shaking slightly. He did not know if it was from the cold or from fear and the shock of betrayal. Fumbling, he fed himself some cold pheasant and a little flat bread from the pouch on his belt. He had never trusted his youngest brother, not since childhood. Somehow he had always known things would not go well for him if he fell into his hands. From the wine flask he poured libations to Prometheus, Heracles, and Hecate, and prayed, especially to the dark goddess of revenge. It was still dead calm in the wood. The storm would not get here very soon. He had to decide what to do. Hiding here did not seem good. He would get colder and weaker. He would be discovered and killed. He needed to be on the move. But where to? Listening hard, he shut his eyes and thought once more. He could try to get back to the main body of the hunt. Among his own retainers and his sister's men he would be safe. He would have to avoid